When this man came to visit his good friend, he discovered something strange. After not seeing each other for just a few years, his friend had become wealthy, living in a mansion and drinking expensive drinks, but he was just a mediocre chef. This made Nick, who was also a skilled chef, feel depressed. He came to visit his friend on the pretext of visiting him, but in reality, he was drowning in debt with nowhere to hide, so he had no choice but to seek refuge with his friend. Seeing how prosperous his friend had become, Nick also wanted to join in. Jack claimed he was the private chef for a wealthy family, but refused to disclose any details, and firmly rejected Nick's request to join. However, Nick was desperate. Although he had fled, he still had family, and the debt collectors threatened him, saying they would go after his mother if he didn't repay the debt. There was no other option. Nick took advantage of his friend being out working to search for clues about how he had made his fortune, but after searching for several days, he found nothing, and he discovered that the standard of living here was low, and didn't seem like that of a wealthy person, but his friend's extravagant spending was real. A dancer nearby noticed that Jack's watch was expensive, and approached him enthusiastically, then returned to the mansion to spend the night with him, but it was precisely this carefree life. Jack remained troubled. One late night, he suddenly said, "Glad you're here, man. I mean, seriously, missing home a lot. I'm glad I came too." Nick didn't take it seriously and brushed it off with a casual remark, but the next day, his friend committed suicide. He didn't know why the other person did it, but after mourning, he realized Jack had no family before his death. Couldn't he then inherit his friend's estate? Thinking this, he sank the body into the lake that night and transferred Jack's money into his own account, but he didn't know the payment password. With only his ID card, he couldn't make changes online. The bank required the account holder to come in person. He couldn't access the large sum of money in the account. Nick set his sights on the mansion. He went out to inquire about selling the house. When he returned, he found a car parked at the door. He went inside to check the situation, but the person who came in mistook him for Jack. It was clear that the person had never met Jack before. Nick pretended to be Jack. It turned out they were Jack's superiors and had assigned him the task. Nick asked if he could receive an advance on his salary. Today was the deadline set by the debt collector. "Yeah, no problem, we can advance you. How much did you need?" Nick stated the amount owed. To his surprise, the other party transferred the money directly. He thus settled the debt that had been troubling him, but now he was faced with a new problem. The other party asked about the ingredients. Knowing nothing, he lied and said he hadn't chosen them yet. "What have you been doing?" Tomorrow was the day the client was coming to eat. They had come here to ensure nothing went wrong, but now there was no time to assign blame. They could only go out to buy ingredients, but they didn't go to the market. Instead, they parked the car at the church entrance. Anna said, "We can't determine if the ingredients have any bad habits in a day, but churchgoers are the best option for now." Nick finally realized that the ingredients they were talking about were people. He finally understood why cooking alone could earn so much money. Thinking of this, he wanted to refuse, but Anna's words made his scalp tingle.